waffles. Adam's darts, electrons revolve. Through these squares and palms, these gripping fingers, I feel it. So the poem I chose to read is not one by Yeats, but about it. And I had a friend named John Keene. Before he passed away, I won't say God rest his soul, because I'm pretty sure that would be redundant. Any God worthy of the name took care of that long since. And if he didn't, well, then he's in the wrong business and should look for different work. But John had a saying that I'm sure many, if not most of you here have heard. He said that the English forced their language upon the Irish, and that the Irish, being ever gracious, returned the favor by giving them back much of their literature. And so I think an English poet is rather appropriate to be someone paying that homage to Mr. Yeats. It was W.H. Auden who wrote the play in memory of W.B. Yeats. He wrote it about a month after Yeats passed away, 1939. And the world, in 1939, had some striking similarities with our own world right now that also find their way into the poem. So I think it was also appropriate for that reason. So it's in 3 parts. Part the first, in memory of W.B. Yeats. He disappeared in the dead of winter. The brooks were frozen, the airports almost deserted, and snow disfigured the public statues. The mercury sank in the mouth of the dying day. Oh, all the instruments agreed. The day of his death was a dark, cold day. Far from his illness, the wolves ran on through the evergreen forests. The peasant river was untempted by the fashionable quays. By mourning tongues, the death of the poet was kept from his poems.
And nodding by the fire, take down this book. And closely read and dream of the soft look your eyes had once, and of their shadows deep. How many loved your moments of glad grace and loved your beauty with love, also true? But one man loved the pilgrim soul in you, and loved the sorrows of your changing face. And bending down beside the glowing bars, murmur a little sadly how love fled and paced upon the mountains overhead and hid his face amid a crowd of stars. That, of course, was when you were old, that Daisy KEARNS is now going to read to you in a...
Woo! Daisy! Woo! Beautiful.
I was always behind at the same, but this time I come because I don't like the online translations or other translations of the Chinese of my favorite poem. So I said to John, I said, I have to come.
Thank you.
I have to come to read my own version of my Chinese translation. I don't know how many people understand Chinese, but hopefully you will get it the sense of it.
Yeah.
Like English, you understand already. Okay. When You Are Old by William Butler Yeats, and translated by Daisy KEARNS.
当你老了，头发花白，昏昏欲睡，忍不住在火炉前打盹时，取下这本书，慢慢的阅读，追梦你曾经温柔的眼神和深邃的目光。多少人爱过你喜乐欢欣的刹那，或真或假，爱过你的青春美丽。 人，他爱你那朝圣般虔诚的灵魂，他爱你容颜变迁的哀愁。炉火闪烁，曲背低眉，忧伤的喃喃细语。爱是怎样的在头顶上的群山中徘徊，爱又是怎样的消失在你面容背后的繁星里。谢谢。
谢谢，谢谢。Very good.
Translation and great performance.
Perfect.
I'll throw in one more quote. This is one of my favorites of Yeats. It says, "Education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire."
Right on. Right on.
So I would like to conclude our first half with a bit of music. We have a Yeats poem, a poem written by Yeats called "Down by the Sally Gardens," and it was written with a melody. I have it on my phone. By a man named Herbert, I think. We have a wonderful singer who unfortunately has hurt her wrist. She's going to sing a cappella for us. She was also in my play, Go Out on the Well of Wisdom, and she's going to be getting an award on Monday night at the New York Irish Center for cultural leadership for the women of Ireland.
Very exciting.
So please give a very warm welcome to Mary Courtney.
Mary Courtney. Carrie's own. Come on, Mary. No better woman.
It's lovely to be here. I'm just trying to remember the words because I have a broken wing at the moment. So I just have to try and I know them. So can I off your phone? My phone is on airplane now, so I can't. I'll see you when I get my glasses. So it's great. This is a great idea. I love the fact we're all together for Yeats because I think we could do a series of these gatherings.
Yes.
And
Read all his poems.
yes.
Sounds good, John.
Down by Sally Garden, my love and I. She passed the Sally Garden with little snow white feet. She bade me take love easy as the leaves grow on the tree. But I'm young and foolish, with her did not agree. In a field down by the river, my love and I stand, and on my leaning shoulder she laid her snow white hand. She bade me take life easy as the grass grows on the weir. But I was young and foolish, and now I am full of tears. Down by Sally Gardens, my love and I did meet. She passed the Sally Gardens with little snow white feet. She bade me take love easy as the leaves grow on the tree. But I being young and foolish, with her would not agree. But I being young and foolish, And now I am for tea.
Hi, Mary. Woo!
Thank you.
Woo!
Turning and turning in the widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. The blood-dimmed tide is loosed, and everywhere the ceremony of innocence is drowned, while the worst are full of passionate intensity. Surely some revelation is at hand. Surely the second coming is at hand. The second coming. Hardly are those words out when a vast image of Spiritus Mundi troubles my sight. Somewhere in the sands of the desert, a shape with lion body and the head of a man, a gaze blank and pitiless in the sun, and pitiless as the sun, is moving its slow thighs, while all about it reels shadows of the indignant desert birds. The darkness drops again, but now I know that 20 centuries of stony sleep were vexed to nightmare by a rocking cradle. And what rough beast, its hour come round at last, slouches toward Bethlehem to be born.
Okay. I just want to thank John, the Irish Business Organization of New York, the W.B. Yeats Society of New York, and Ernie O'Malley. This is Yeats adjacent. Okay, Falcon Falconer. Perched on the back of a Green Park bench, a shock of white and gray. Falcon, I am struck, frozen on the jogging path. I admire your stillness, casual authority. Only your head moves laterally, as if dislocated from an invisible neck, flexible and lethal. Blinkered runners pass between us, counting breaths to music we cannot hear. Bored, you leap, flap sudden wings, and fly towards my left shoulder. I am hooded, dark, medieval, transfixed. I am your servant, feather-breathing, leather-cladded forearm out for clawing talons. But you swish past, across the street, to camouflage into a sycamore, to spy on rats among the river rocks. I search for you. I try to tell you from trees, river, sky. In your world, rain is harsh. The animals desperate, lunging. The sun, a sudden gift. The earth, not made of glass or stone. No, it is us, wet souls buried under leaves and dirt. November chrysanthemums. You are teaching me to look.
I thought I'd read this one. It's called To a Young Beauty. Dear fellow artist, why so free with every sort of company, with every Jack and Jill? Choose your companions from the best. Who draws a bucket with the rest soon topples down the hill. You may, that mirror for a school, be passionate, not bountiful as common beauties may, who were not born to keep in trim with old Ezekiel's cherubim, but those of Beauvarlais. I know what wages beauty gives, how hard a life her servant lives. Yet praise the winter's gone. There is not a fool can call me friend, and I may dine at journey's end with Lander and with Dunn.
Good evening. Thanks for such a beautiful evening to all our hosts. So I wasn't planning on reading anything, but then John asked me, and I can't help but be in this room and hear a lot of this poetry and think of my dad, who would take such time to choose the card, the poem. His St. Patrick's Day card was a major project, and a lot of times it was a Yeats poem, and people couldn't read his handwriting, but the poems made sense. And maybe like a few other Irish people, the way to express something is through quoting someone else. That was my experience. And so I dedicate this to my dad, Big Steve Farron, who was one of the original people who formed the Irish Writers and Artists. So this is, he wishes for the cloths of heaven. And I'm breaking Malachy's rule by reading off of a phone. He was a rebel, so I'll do it. Had I the heavens embroidered cloths, enwrought with golden and silver light, the blue and the dim and the dark cloths of night and light and the half-light, I would spread the cloths under your feet. But I, being poor, have only my dreams. I have spread my dreams under your feet. Tread softly, because you tread on my dreams.
I have the pleasure of reading a poem called The Fiddler of Dooney. The thing that I love about The Fiddler of Dooney is that Yeats is talking about how the good Lord in St. Peter prefers poets and artists to the prayerful. So look at us. So I think it's a fitting end. So this is The Fiddler of Dooney. Forgive me on the pronunciation of all the fabulous Irish towns. When I play on my fiddle in Dooney, folk dance like the wave of the sea. My cousin is priest in Covenant, my brother in Mohara Buli. I pass to my brother and cousin. They read in their books of prayer. I read in my books of songs I bought at the Sligo Fair. When we come to the end of time, to Peter sitting in state, he will smile on the three old spirits, but call me first through the gates. For the good are always the merry, saved by an evil chance. And the merry love the fiddle, and the merry love to dance. And when the folk there spy me, they will all come up to me with, "Here is the Fiddler of Dooney," and dance like the wave of the sea.
Scheiße.
I don't know how to say shit in Irish. I know how to say it in German.
No, scheiße.
Sorry.
It's the weather, it's the weather.
That's the devil in town in Georgia.
That's what you like it in New York.
bits
So when I
now.
had my daughter, I didn't want to be cursing around my daughter. So I cursed in other languages. So by the time she was 6, she could curse in 16 languages. And I didn't have, I have a couple of, because I'm from Brooklyn, so I have a couple of curse words from Italian curse words. But my favorite is pasta fazool, which means pasta and beans. All right, that's as good as it's gonna get. All right, it's not out of tune if it's sharp. Okay. Oh yeah, so I asked my audiences, fast, slow, medium, what do you like?
All three.
All three, all three. No pressure, no pressure.
All right, here we go.
Very nice.